Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada Yapurnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Shakratau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Shanti Mantra. Om Apyayantu Mamangane Vak Pranaschakshushrotramaso Balamindriyani cha sarvani. Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakarod Anirakaranamastva Nirakaranam me astu. Tadatmani nirate ya upanishatsu dharmaha te mai santu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So yesterday, on the page 5, we saw the passage number 5. Tavan asya mahima tato jayam purusha padosya sarva bhutani tripadasya devi. How Ishvara is described as having chatuspad, 4 quarters. The Ishvara is described as having 4 quarters. Tavan asya mahima. Of those 4 quarters, only 1 quarter is available to us for experience. Meaning what we experience, what we perceive is 1 quarter. Which itself, of course, is very glorious. It is what we call the all-pervasive Lord, the immanent Lord or Ishvara, where the Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti of Ishvara is most evident. Wherever you see, there is knowledge, the omniscience of Ishvara evident. Again, where you see, the Ichha, the will of Ishvara is evident. And Kriya, the dynamism, the power of Ishvara is evident. So this is indeed a glorious manifestation of Ishvara. Etavan asya mahima or tavan asya mahima. That there is this world, the space, this heaven, adhyatma, adhibhuta, adhideva. Tato jayam se purusha. But do not think that, do not simply be satisfied by experience of these glories. No doubt what is manifest is extremely glorious, wonderful. But tato jayam se purusha. Purusha, the Paramatma. The word Purusha means Purnaha, the one who is complete. One who dwells in the self of all. That Purusha is tato jayan, is much greater than what is evident. So what is evident, what is immanent, what is all pervasive is great, of course, but there is a dimension, much greater dimension, which is not visible to us. So what is visible, what is experienceable is great. That is the first discovery. That the universe has an order, a harmony, and then it's the mighty Ishvara. Etasya akshasya prasasana gardehi surya chandramaso vidruto. Hey Gargi, it is the mighty rule of this immutable that the sun and the moon are placed in their locations. It is the mighty rule of this immutable that heaven and earth are where they are. The time flows in an orderly manner. The rivers flow in an orderly manner. The whole universe functions in an orderly manner. Look at this glory. So this is the first thing. That's called the vibhuti. Shows the glory. Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi suryayoho. Hey Kaunteya, I am the taste in the water. I am the light in the sun, in the moon. I am the heat in the fire. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna sings these glories in many places. But tato jayam se purusha, Purusha, the Paramatma, is much greater than that also. There is another dimension. And that our discovery of truth becomes complete only when we discover that dimension also. So, understanding what is evident or visible is only one fraction of what it totally is. That infinite, there is 3/4 of that. But 3/4 is not meant just 3 times or something, means that a much greater dimension is to be discovered. Athava bahunaitena kim jnatena tavarjuna vishtabhya hamidam krishnam ekamsha. Hey Arjuna, what you perceive is ekamsha, one fraction of me. And I can keep on describing, Lord Krishna says, and then what? That this is not all. Padosya sarva bhutani. All these beings, all the manifest universe is just pada, is just 1/4. Tripadasya amrutam devi. The tripa, the 3/4, the transcendental. Devi shines in heaven, meaning is self-shining. You can say it shines as my very self in my heart. Yo vedan hitam guhayam parame vyoman. The most amazing thing is that the transcendental or the infinite, thank God, is not out there. The other dimension, what is out there is one dimension, but the 3/4, the infinite dimension, fortunately, is not out there. Had it been out there, I could never see it or know it. Whatever I could see, whatever I could know is always limited, however great it is. The universe is great, no doubt about it, but it's still limited. So what you see is limited, no doubt glorious, but limited still. There is another dimension that is limitless. And where is that dimension? Who is that dimension? Thank God that I happen to be that dimension. That's why it is then next necessary to turn my attention towards myself. So aparavidya and paravidya. First aparavidya, recognizing Ishvara, the manifest Ishvara, his glories. And then paravidya, turn the attention towards one's own self and discover the limitless dimension, limitlessness as my own self. Then we have known Ishvara in totality. Simply knowing all pervasive Ishvara is not knowing him in totality. Or even knowing the transcendental also is not knowing him totally. We should know both. Yajñātva neha bhuyo nyajñātavyam avashishyate. Lord Krishna says, knowing which nothing remains to be known, because then this covers aparavidya and paravidya. In both ways, apara and para, that's how we know Ishvara. Here on the other hand, however, when you talk of the upasana meditation, merely is apara. The outer part, the inferior part, you can say, is the focus of attention. Because as we discussed yesterday, this 1 quarter that we experience is also glorious, is also Ishvara. And that becomes the dwara, the gateway of reaching those 3 quarters. And so first of all, tune up with this Ishvara, the manifest Ishvara. That's the Parvata Upasana. And how do you tune up? How do you identify with that? Because it is our nature of our mind, that it always wants to identify something that is fascinating, something that is great and glorious. And the Ishvara is described in glorious, fascinating terms, and that is the Upasana where Ishvara is omniscient, omnipotent. So and so other Acharya was described in a different way. Basically, the beauty, the glory of Ishvara is what our mind gets fascinated with. It likes to think of that. It likes to identify with that. So that is the bhakti, that's the Upasana. And then that creates a ground for knowing that very same Ishvara is myself, that's the paravidya. But you do have a paravidya first. And never, both have to be known. Dve vidya veditavya, Upanishad says, dve vidya veditavya. Both the vidyas have to be known. Iti hasmayat brahma vedo vadanti. This is what the knowers of Veda say, that both the knowledge have to be gained. Parachaiva aparacha. The aparavidya also is to be gained as Ishvara, as immanent Ishvara, manifest Ishvara. And then it opens a doorway for knowing the transcendental Ishvara, the limitless Ishvara as a very self. And so this is what was said earlier. In continuation, we have now selected the next passage, which is a very famous passage. Says Bhashyakara punastaseva tripadamrutasya brahmana ananda gunavatah. That same Brahman, Ishvara, as possessed of infinite glories. Ishvara, that is transcendent, cannot even say possesses infinite glory. Infinite glories are possessed by the single one Pada. The omniscience, omnipotent, omnipresence, all of these are nothing but the attributes of the costume of Ishvara, the Maya. When Ishvara possessed, with Maya is possessed of all these glories. So that meditation now again is prescribed. Formerly that meditation was with the help of a pratika or a symbol like Omkar, Om, or as Gayatri, for example. Now Upanishad teaches the meditation without any pratika like that, directly on Ishvara. And so, in prescribing that meditation, here the next passage says, Sarvam khalvidam brahma tajjalan iti shanta upasita atha khalu kratumayah purushaha yatha kratuho अस्मिन् लोके पुरुषो भवति तथा इतः प्रेत्य भवति सकृतं कुर्वीत. So this passage has two parts. First part is Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma Tad Jalan iti Shanta Upasita. That's one part. So before Upanishad prescribes that may you meditate upon Brahma, may you meditate. Before meditation, it is required that our mind should enjoy quietude, should be at peace with itself. The quietude means the reason why the mind is restless or agitated rather is because the mind is not at peace with itself. And that is because also it is not at peace with the world. And so the Upanishad teaches how to be at peace with the world and thereby how to be at peace with ourselves. For the first step. So it says Shantaha Upasita or Shantaha San Upasita. Upasita, may one meditate. Shantaha San, being at peace. So being peaceful. So may you become peaceful and then meditate. Because for meditation we require mind that is free from distractions, and mainly distractions are caused by what they call raga and dvesha. So all causes of distractions can be reduced to these two. You can say kama, krodha, lobha, moha, this, that. So many impulses are there. Impulse of craving is there, anger is there, greed is there, jealousy is there, hatred is there. Even self-dislike is there, self-condemnation. So many impulses are there. And each of these impulses becomes a cause of agitation of the mind. So in the 16th chapter, Lord Krishna describes all these asuri or demoniac tendencies. The question arose, O Lord, if you have to deal with each one of them, it's countless. When shall we ever when shall we ever conquer them, become free from them? So Lord Krishna reduced all those demoniac tendencies into three. Kamaha, Krodhaha, Lobha. Kamaha, the craving. Krodha, anger. Lobha, greed. But the lobha, the greed also is only a transform. Both are transform. Or kama is the primary thing. So then you reduce to kama and krodha, or raga and dvesha. Meaning all the various impulses that arise in our mind, which agitate our mind, which make our mind distracted, extrovert, all of them can be reduced to raga and dvesha, attachment and aversion. So Shanta Upasita, May you attain a peaceful state of the mind and then meditate. Meaning that may you make your mind free from raga and dvesha. What creates the agitation of the mind is this raga and dvesha, attachment and aversion. So may you make your mind free from attachment and aversion. Sparshan krutva bahirbahyan. Lord Krishna says that leave all the external objects out there. Meaning, do not invite them inside. How do we invite the external objects within our mind? By attachment and aversion. When I have an attachment for something, then also it gets an entry in my mind. When I have aversion or hatred for something, then also it gets an entry in my mind. And then they disturb me. So when Lord Krishna says, keep the external objects out there, means that may you make your mind free from raga and dvesha. For that the Upanishad gives a very beautiful way, very beautiful means of doing that. Says Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Sarvam, all of this. What is all of this? Nama Rupa Vikrutam Pratyakshadi Vishayam. All that is modified in the form of name and form. Sarvam means all. Sometimes they call it idam, this is nothing but the universe which is manifest before us as names and forms. Pratyakshadi Vishayam, which is objectified as perception or inference and based on perception. Means the whole universe that is perceptible and that can become perceptible. Anything that is drishyam or the object, anything other than myself really. Even the objects in heaven right now may not be perceptible to me. Our Swami used to say, but when you go to heaven then they become perceptible. I mean they are subject to being perceptible. You follow? Whether you can see, but they are seeable. They are objectifiable. All of that is included in Sarva. Khalu says Khalu is a indeclinable word. Says a Vakyalankara Nipada is just to embellish the sentence. Sentence sounds nice. Sarvam Khalu. Idam Sarvam Brahma. Idam Sarvam Khal. Idam Sarvam Brahma. Meaning that word Khalu does not contribute any meaning. That's what it means. Then why is that word used? Why is the meaningless word used? Because it embellishes the sentence. It decorates the sentence. Sounds good, So, some word is used because it makes the sentence good sounding. Idam sarvam Brahma. All of this indeed is Brahma. What is Brahma? It says Karanam. What is Brahma? That which is the cause of the creation. So Bhashyakara gives explanation of the word Brahma. Vruddhatamatvad Brahma. Bruhi vruddho. Bruh means to grow. Vruddha means that which is grown, which is old, Vruddha, old. What is Brahman? Vruddhatam, oldest. An interesting way of explaining Brahman. You don't like oldest. What is meant by oldest is older than anything that you know. So whatever is idam sarvam, all of this that is perceptible or that can be perceived is old, ancient, but is oldest. There is none older than Brahman in age. How would that be? Only when Brahman is birthless. Because anything that is born can get old, but there will be something older than that anyway. So Vriddhatamam, oldest. The cause is older than the effect. The clay is older than the pot. Because pot cannot be unless clay is. So clay has to be older than pot. Is it older in time? Must be present before the pot is it not so? So what is older? The cause is older than the effect. So see how word Brahman itself, Brahma here conveys that. Brahma is Vriddhatamam, that which is the oldest. Means what? That is the primary cause. Because cause is older than the effect. So Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. All of this is Brahma, all of this is cause. Understand? That's what it means. Meaning that what you perceive as the effect and see it as the cause. Just shift your attention from effect to the cause. Seeing that all these pots and pans that you see here, all the different vessels or objects made of clay have different names. This can be a pot and this can be a plate and whatever. All of this is Brahma. Means the oldest, means the cause, means clay. So all the pots and pans are clay. What's the big deal? I mean, what's the wonderful thing about that? We know that. Don't we know that? Somebody says, all these ornaments are gold. Thank you. But sometimes we lose sight of that. Sometimes we lose sight of this fact that all these are manifest names and forms called a bangle and earring and chain and all these different names and forms are there. Sometimes somebody needs to point out to us that, hey, these are all gold. And in fact is nothing but the material cause. Gold is the material cause of the ornaments. Clay is the material cause of all the pots and pans. And so Brahman is the material cause of this universe. That's very important. This is the uniqueness of Vedanta, where Brahman is the material cause. Everybody explains Brahman or Ishvara as the efficient cause. That Ishvara is a maker. All traditions explain how Ishvara created the world. He is a maker of the world. But Vedas, the Upanishads say that Ishvara also is the material. So maker is not important here, by the way. Maker becomes important when we come to the meditation. All glories belong to maker. Omniscience, omnipotence, etc. What is evident is the material cause. So first thing is that recognize that all of this is Brahman, all of this, the effect is nothing but the cause. How do you say all of this is Brahman? And so Upanishad itself explains that Jalan is a sutra, an aphorism. Sutra is a pithy sentence or word that explains a very profound idea. So this Tat Jalan is a compound word, samasa. And Bhashyakara explains that Tajja, Tajjam, Tallam, Tadanam, Jalana, Jalan, Jalan. See what is Jalan? Ja, La plus An, right? La plus An becomes what? La plus An will become what? What? Lan. By what rule? By what rule? Simple rule. La plus an, a plus a is what kind of sandhi is that? Savarne dirgha. Anyway, so it means the same varnas come together. But anyway, that is a sutra. So yes, it is this svara sandhi. When these two vowels are together of the same kind, then it becomes dirgha. So in Tad Jalan, that R has two letters in there. Two A's are there. You follow? Tad Ja and Tad Ja and La Ja La An. So Ja is an. Tad Ja, Tad La, Tad An. Now that they are Ja. Tad is one that applies to all the three. Tad Ja La An. So Tad Ja, Tad La, Tadan. Right? It's called Madhyam Padalopi Samas. Anyway, meaning that the middle low words are silent. In fact, what should have been is what? Tajja Tadalatana. That's how it should have been. But the tat has been, understood. So Tajjalan. Make it simple so that we can understand. Remember. Tajjalan iti. So Tajja. So that is where, from which this universe is born. Talla, that is where the universe liyate ultimately merges back. Tadan, an means to breathe, so that which the universe breathes is alive, is sustained. Tajja, Talla, Tadan. Really speaking, it should be Tadana, But, so every rule is not followed, I guess. It should be Tajjalana. So Tajjalan, anyway. So, Akara is missing there. Alopa is there. It should be Tajjalana. But what is it? Tajjalan. It doesn't matter. But what matters to us is, it is Tajja, Talla, Tadan, meaning Ja means to be born, La means to merge, and An means to breathe or survive or sustain. So Yato va imani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yat prayanti visamvishanti. So those who have been exposed to the Taittiriya Upanishad know that from which all these beings are born, having been born, the one by whom they are sustained, and they merge back and become one with it at the time of dissolution. This is the description of material cause, by the way. This is how material cause is described. So there is a material cause of the universe. That's a very important thing. What we experience is all this diverse and multifarious universe. And you wonder, is there a common source to all of this? Kasmin bhava vijnāde sarvadam vijnādam bhavati iti. A question is asked, what is it knowing which all of this becomes known? Is there something knowing which all this becomes known? If that is so, what is it? How did that question arise in the first place? Because he is listened to in the satsangs. In a discussion among the learned people, that when you know the gold, then you as well know all the ornaments. When you know the clay, you as well know all the pots and pans. When you know the material cause, you as well know the effect. So is that the material cause of the universe? So this is described like this, that Brahman is the material cause from which the universe originates, by which it is sustained, and the way it goes back. But you see, one thing is that material cause always goes with the effect. See, the maker and the material, right? The maker of this pot is the pot maker. He does not come with the pot. When you buy a pot, the pot maker, you don't have to bring him to your home. Otherwise, you'll have pot makers and tailors and weavers and carpenters. All these fellows have to, isn't it? If the maker also has to come along with the material, then our house will be full of those fellows. But we may also wind up someplace, who knows? Because we have made something. So maker does not go with the material, with the effect. The material goes. Meaning that when you buy a pot, the clay has to come with it. Is it not so? Take away the clay from the pot, what remains? If you take the pot, clay from the pot, will something remain? The name and form will not remain? No? What is pot? Clay plus name and form. See the algebra. Clay plus name and form is equal to pot, right? A plus B is equal to C. A is clay. Name and form is B. Pot is C. So if you remove B, then what? C minus B is equal to A. Then something should remain, is it not so? Clay plus name and form is equal to pot. If from the pot you take away the clay, then what should remain? Name and form, is it not so? What do you mean now? Is this clay or is there something more than clay in this object? It's just clay? Then why do you call it pot if it's just clay? I know all the words are coming back now anyway. No, I know, because you list. That's nice. You've been listening to this. But we have to say something that you don't know anyway. Or something that you cannot easily reply. I mean, ask the question. Sounds very simple. It is simple. So take away the name and form from this pot. Take away what? Clay from this pot. What remains? If pot, clay plus name and form is pot, then pot minus clay should be name and form. Is it not so? No, this is, you first say yes and then say no. Say clay plus name and form is pot. Yes. Then pot minus clay should be name and form. Is it not? That you say no. Now how can that be? Wow, yeah, I know. I know all these technical answers. Complex number. Oh, who is that? Oh, very good. You call it complex, so then you can't explain it. That's what it means. Plus is non-plus. Now that's interesting. Can you really say clay plus name and form is pot? Is that the right way of saying? No? Then why do you say yes? See, formally just lump of clay, now is pot. It is not that name and form is added to the clay, so it becomes pot. Is it not so? No? Then what? What is pot? Not clay plus name and form. Is it not pot? Then what is it? How do you arrive at pot? See, plus sign can be used only between entities that enjoy the same degree of reality. Apples and oranges you can add up because they enjoy the same degree of reality. Is it not so? So, no, thank you. So here, because I also don't follow all that, so I can also thank you and then stay away from further things. But even though we say it is clay plus name and form, the plus sign cannot be there because name and form do not enjoy the same degree of reality as clay. So you know what you say? Clay with name and form superimposed is called pot. So the negation can be only if there is summation. Summation can be between entities of same degree of reality, and subtraction also would be, had name and form, had the same degree of reality, it would have remained. It is clay upon which name and form is superimposed is called a pot. So, meaning what? Superimposition is no substance there. When you say plus, some substance is assumed. When you superimpose, no substance. Therefore, no substance remains. And name and form remain someplace. Where do they remain? Where do they remain? In our mind. They remain someplace. Wherever they came from, that is where they go back. Understand? Where name and form, where do they come from? From our mind. Because part is a concept. For our own convenience, we call this object a part. What it is really clay. But no, for transactional purposes, we distinguish it as part. If you say bring clay, then you don't know what to bring. Hey, please bring that clay. What, Swami? Bring that clay. So this is also clay, that is also. What will you bring? So I say bring a pot. It is simply for the purpose of transaction that we give this kind of name and form, and think that that name and form is as real as clay, which is not so. Alright, so now where did we come from? We started this by saying that the material cause always comes with the effect. So in effect, the material cause must be visible, isn't it? So in the part, in the clay must be visible. In the gold, the ornament, the gold must be visible. This is material cause. So Brahman is material cause. Should it not be visible? Meaning that when you experience the part, you always experience clay. Without experience of clay, experience of plot cannot be. Without experiencing the material cause, you cannot experience the effect. Is that so? Or Swami used to say, imagine a shirt without a fabric. No, Swami, I can make a shirt from newspaper. And he would say, Avara, he would sing like that. You must have watched that movie. I don't know, I don't remember. Meaning that, yes, you can make maybe shirt out of newspaper, I don't know. Was that how it was in that movie? I don't know. Whatever. But you need something. You cannot imagine a shirt without some material. Meaning that whenever you experience the shirt, the material is experienced. Without that you can't. Without experiencing the material cause, you cannot experience the effect. Is it not so? So if Brahman is the material cause, then the Jagat or names and forms which are the effect or product cannot be experienced unless you experience name and form. Is it not so? I mean, experience Brahman. Is it not so? Do you experience Brahman? When you experience the world, if Brahman is a material cause, do you experience that? No? If you don't experience Brahman, then you can't experience, if you don't experience the material cause, you can't experience the effect. You don't experience Brahman? No. Suppose I say yes. Okay, Swami, because you say I'll accept it, but I don't think so. Right? So when you experience an object such as part, what do you experience the part is? Is it there or not? So unless we experience isness, can you experience part? Now when do you say, is there a part in my hand? No? Why? How do you say that? Why is it not there? How do you conclude it's not there? Is it in my hand? Is there a part in my hand? Remember, the question is very specific. I didn't say, is there a part? I said, is there a part in my hand? Is there one? No? So how do you arrive at that conclusion that there is no part in my hand? Because you don't see it. So you say the part is when you see it or when you experience it, when you are aware of it, put it this way. So existence and awareness always go together. Asti and bhati. Part is because part shines. Part shines because part is. Isn't it so? How do you know it is? Because you see. When can you see? When it is. So do you see because it is or it is because you see? What is it? early morning after the heavy breakfast, all this is a little difficult, I know. These fellows give very good breakfast, for sure. And then, of course, you help yourself. Who knows what will be in the lunch, those chapatis and then rice, etc. Whether you can deal with them, handle them, I don't know, depends. And so why wait until, exploit this opportunity. So therefore, I guess breakfast becomes the heaviest meal. And then a lot of blood has to go to stomach, then less is available to the brain. So when you ask these complicated questions and but do you see the pot because it is, or that pot is because you see? Tell me. Pot is because you see? Or you see because pot is? You see because it is. But how do you say it is? Because you see. So which comes first? Seeing comes first or being comes first? Being comes first. But how do you know that it is? Unless you see. Meaning Asti and Bhati, they are together. Why are they together? Because Asti is Bhati. If Asti Bhati was separate, then the question of first and second comes, What is Asti? Is Bhati. What is Bhati? Is Asti. So meaning that when you experience a pot, do you experience Asti Bhati or not? What is Asti Bhati? What is Satchit? Satchit is nature of what? Satchidananda is nature of what? Brahman, is it not? So when you experience the pot, do you experience Brahman or not? Isn't it? We experience, we don't generally take note of it. The only thing is that you cannot experience anything unless you experience Brahman. Because Brahman is a material cause. You have to experience it. Unless isness is experienced, the part cannot be experienced. That part is. Asti, Bhati go together. The Priyam is the third thing. But why Asti Bhati is also Priyam? Because what we really love? What we really love? When you say, oh Swami, I love this flower. I don't know whether you love this flower, but imagine it's lovable flower. Swami is a fake flower, isn't it? It's lovable flower. I love this. It's also fake, and don't take it away from here. Somebody asked me, is this real gold? We think that it is gold that we love, or the beauty that we love. Ultimately, if you explore what is that you love, you'll find out that you love the fact that this is. That isness is really the object of love, and whatever carries that isness becomes the object of love. That doesn't have isness cannot become the object of love. Can you love something that is non-existent? Can you love something that does not shine, that you don't experience? Do you love something that you experience and something that is? So do you love the name and form or the Asti Bhati? What do you love? Tell me. When I love something, the whole package is there. Name and form also is there, and Asti Bhati also is there. Oh, I love this part. Which part do you love? When the pot breaks, for example, into pieces, does it remain lovable at all? Is it possible that you love those shards, those pieces? Or when you pound it into powder, can you love that powder? No, you can love the pot, not the powder, isn't it? Huh? You can, I guess. You can love anything. Why poor powder? What wrong has it done to you that you don't love it? Why do you not like it? Cannot be used. So self-centered we are that we love only that which is useful. You love that moon and sun, don't you? Are they useful to you? When you look at the hills of things, are they useful to you? You just love them, isn't it? Because they're beautiful. Anyway, I think, but the point that I'm trying to make is, and you think about it, is what we really love is Asti and Bhati. Although name and form attracts our attention, all right, and we think that is what is lovable, what makes it lovable is Asti Bhati. That's why Asti Bhati is Priyam, not otherwise. So, it is not that Bhati shines because it is. And it is dear because, no. Because what is dear is what is existent, and what is existent is what shines. All of them are the same. Asti, Bhati, Priyam. What is that? Satyam, Jnanam, Anandam. What is that? So if I say Satchidananda, then Brahman doesn't say Satyam, Jnanam, Anandam, Brahman. So is it not that we experience Brahman? In every experience Brahman is involved, is it not so? That is a proof that it is material cause. See, material cause must necessarily be experienced when you experience the effect. And Asti Bhati always experience, is it not so? See, become a lesson in Vedanta instead of in Upasana, now that. But anyway, I guess Swami all talks about only Upasana. So, okay, Vedanta also comes now and then. So we always experience Brahman. Thank God. Where is Brahman? Wherever name and form is, Asti Bhati Priyam, is it not? Where is Asti Bhati Priyam? Where the pot is. Where is Asti Bhati Priyam? Where the cloth is. Where is Asti Bhati Priyam? Where the name and form is. Right? You're writing. You have to listen to me. I'm asking a question, So, I see you, you are, you shine, you are dear to me, so Asti Bhati Priyam is where you are, is it not so? And where you are, and when you are, and when this is, and that's where Asti Bhati Priyam is it not so? Where our names and forms are, that's where the Asti Bhati Priyam is it not so? Or is it so? See, the same thing. Name and Asti Bhati Priyam plus name and form is an object. Like clay plus name and form is a part. So we said plus, you cannot really say that. Clay upon which the name and form is superimposed is part. So Asti Bhati Priyam plus name and Asti Bhati upon which name and form is superimposed is an object. And therefore, they don't. So what's the relationship between name and form and clay? One of Adhishtanam and superimposition. That means name and form is superimposed on Asti Bhati Priyam. Where is Asti Bhati Priyam? Out in the air? Where is it? Everywhere, Swami. Where is it? It is the self. Asmi bhami priyam. Aham asmi sada bhami kadachinnaham apriya. Brahmi vaham atasiddham satchidananda lakshanam. Says aham asmi, I am. Sada bhami, I always shine. I never dislike myself, I always love myself. That shows that I am Asti Bhati Priyam, which is Brahman I am. So Brahman you experience as what? Always as a self. Can it ever happen that you don't experience yourself? A name and form comes and goes, other name and forms comes and goes, that comes and goes. Asti Bhati Prem is always, it remains because it's Brahman cause. What is Asti Bhati Priyam? It is myself. I am Asmi, I am Bhami, I am Priyam. Self-shining. Because it is self-shining, therefore you don't have to make an effort to experience, thank God. Otherwise, you turn away and you don't experience something. If Asti Bhadi Prem was also like an object, like a part, then when I turn away from the part goes out of my experience. Can I turn away from Asti Bhati Priyam? Because it is myself. So two things we are experiencing simultaneously. The names and forms plus the self. So what is Brahman? The self is Brahman. Anyway, now that's the lesson for the 6th chapter of the ChhandogyaUpanishad. So Shankaracharya will explain to you later on this thing. But right now, all of this is Brahman, the cause. What is effect is nothing, not apart from the cause. What is pot is nothing but the clay. Effect is nothing but the material cause. Therefore, all of this is Brahman, the material cause. So this statement, what does it tell us? It says, may you shift your focus of attention from idam sarvam to Brahma, from effect to the cause. Although they seem to be in samadhika, but the point is that shift your attention from simple idam, shift your attention from the pot to the clay, from the plate to the clay, so this little thing to the clay. From one standpoint, all of these are different from each other. This is called a pot, this is called a plate, and they are different from each other. From what standpoint? There is one name and form, other name and form. From that standpoint, these two are different from each other. But from another standpoint, they are one also. Which is the standpoint? And they are clay. So what happens? When our attention is only on name and form, this I love, this beautiful. This is a little thing. This is so nice and big, and this is small. So name and form immediately invokes from me some reaction. I love this. What a beautiful form it is. Because I love this, I hate this. How little crummy thing it is. So moment name and form is given importance, immediately it invokes from me a reaction. Lovable, not lovable. I like it, I don't like it. It cannot be without that, understand? Moment name and form is given reality, there has to be a reaction. And when do I give reality to this name and form? When I give reality to this name and form. I am a name and form, and this is a name and form. When one name and form interacts with other name and form, there has to be a reaction. Either it is anukulam, conducive, or pratikulam is non-conducive. So I like it or dislike it, that's going to happen. And that's what disturbs our mind. What in fact agitates our mind. What creates agitation, distraction in our mind is what? They are both reactions. I like it, also is a reaction. Then my mind thinks of that because I like it. I hate it, that's a reaction. Then also my mind thinks what to deal with this, how to get rid of this. When I like this, then my mind is thinking, and planning how to get it. When Swami walks away from here, then I have a plan, how to pocket this thing. It's so beautiful. Suppose it was this beautiful object here, this is a bunch of grapes coming from Andhra Pradesh. Really? That's the source of all these black grapes. They're shining and so, they look so sweet and fresh. So waiting for Swami and everybody to leave the class is lovable. I like it. When I like it, some plan happens in my mind how to slowly grab it. So liking also not only stays there, it then creates a plan and my mind dwells upon that, because when I like it, then I enjoy it. Only when I possess it, only when I experience it, is there, I like it, okay. But when it becomes mine, then the joy is much more. And then when I eat it, is priya moda pramoda. So liking this creates all this chain of thoughts in the mind. If I dislike it, every day I sit in the class, this is right in front of me. Swamiji, remove that. I hate it. And Swami is inside, doesn't understand my feeling. Then I have to do something about it. When Swamiji goes away, I do something with it. So when I dislike something, then also a whole train of thought in my mind, takes place. Is it not so? All trains of thought basically originate from because I like something and dislike something. That's the basic root for all kinds of thoughts in our mind. And both kinds of thoughts keep my mind away from myself. That object of like occupies my mind, or object of dislike also occupies my mind. Even though objects are there, I think I bring them inside. Is it not so? So Lord Krishna says, keep the objects out there. Means what? Give up raga and dvesha. That's the first step of meditation. Sparshan krutva bahirbahyan. The first step is to keep all this sparsha, means all the objects out there. Don't bring them within yourself. How do we bring them? We empower them to enter our mind. When our border is porous, then we empower all the terrorists to enter there. So all these fellows enter. The border is porous because of raga and dvesha. Keep them there. Become free from raga and dvesha. How? Sarvam khalvidam brahmai tad jalan iti. Think of this. Then what is this that I like? Brahman. What is it that I dislike? Brahman. And Brahman is not an object, but it is self. It is always lovable. So ultimately, lovable alone comes in what I like, and lovable alone is what I dislike. Or Brahman means Ishvara, that also is an object of a reverence and worship. Then it's all worshipful, it's all reverential. Same worshipful, reverential Lord comes in this form. Doesn't matter what the form is, the one who comes in that form is important. Doesn't matter what costume he wears. That's called Ishvara, who simultaneously assumes countless costumes and places all this, drama. And so shift the attention from name and form to Brahman, to Ishvara, to that which is lovable, beautiful. Meaning that see that beauty in everything. See that everything is lovable. If we shake off our demand and expectation, then everything is, that's what is meant there. Then Shantah Sanupasida, the mind will become Shantah, at peace. So as long as the mind is focused on diversity, so long it jumps from one thing to the other. But in this diversity, there is also unity, there is oneness, and there is Brahman, and that is beautiful. So when I make my mind think, moment the mind says, I hate it. What is it? What do you hate? Name and form. What is it? Remember, it's Asti Bhati Priyam Brahman. Satchidananda. I love that. What is it? Again, name and form. Satchidananda, which is. So thus, this is shift the attention from the name and form to the cause, which is Brahman, which is there, has to be there. The material cause has to be there where the effect is. Tad jalanadi shantaha. That's how the mind becomes shantaha, becomes free from all distractions and agitations. It's pleased. Shanti is not just dead quiet. It pleased. Pleased the idea of Brahman, idea of something that I love. Upasida. Then you meditate. So, this is the first sentence here. We'll continue. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.